Good evening, everybody. So, we are ready to move on to the final game in the Ace Attorney Trilogy. And that would be, Trials and Tribulations. Hi, Noble. Well, final game in this compilation, not still far from the final game in the series. Again, I hope they release a Ace Attorney Trilogy 2 that would include Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. Then, as well as the two Ace Attorney Investigations games, including the second game, which never got an international release. Anyways, started with Chapter 1, Turnabout Memories. How'd I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? Oh. Huh? It's Phoenix. That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! It wasn't me. I didn't do it! Well, shit. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. So yes, this game opens up with a flashback. And yeah, we're gonna be playing from Mia's point of view. Oh, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, it's Grossberg. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Aw, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're gonna get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know? What are you talking about? Excuse me. I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Well, let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, I'm at your service. Yeah, if you recall, it was said back in the first game that Grossberg was Mia's mentor. Actually, this is my second time in court. Oh? Sure, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. Yeah, we didn't see him at all in the second game. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Oh, Phoenix, you look ridiculous. Good morning there, everybody. What, you got a cold? Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine. No prob. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers? People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what the mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you're truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. Right. And as we saw in the first game, this isn't even the first time he's been that Phoenix has been in the hot seat. It was that class trial where he was defended by Edgeworth that really inspired him. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Oh. Wonder what happened there. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'm gonna win. For my client, and for myself. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. Jesus! Did the judge ever have hair? And did he always had that big white beard? The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution's ready, Your Honor. Oh, yeah, him again. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Yep, she was pretty similar to Phoenix in his early years. Pretty fitting that she would be his mentor. Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. What was that all about? Is he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Looks like he was a very bright young man. He looks a little too much like a young Matt Ongard. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Oh? Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Okay. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Well, one thing stands out very much to me in particular, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. Yeah, Payne always seems to be the tutorial prosecutor. The truth is, this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a gentleman, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Ah, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Ooh, do we need to... Doug's autopsy report. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. Well, then it's a good thing I just did it for you, Mia. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. TMI, Grossberg. TMI. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Oh, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab. All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. Just press tab here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Well, I mean, if you look at the photo, it's pretty damn obvious. Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there's one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I should be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. Join the club, Mia. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I'd like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? Aw, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Ah. Phoenix's girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne, dated the victim up until 8 months ago. That's probably the source of this. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady. Wait, you're a Greybeard. Are you going to teach me how to shout? Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tabs, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman's the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Aw, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Indeed he hasn't. Witness, please state your name and occupation. There will be a very good reason for that, but I shouldn't say too much yet. Yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you're suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug's... But I didn't do it! I'm innocent, I tell you! I'm telling you, I was... oh my god, Phoenix, settle down. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his coal to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Hey, Coolio. Yes, as mentioned at the start, this first trial is actually a flashback from Mia's point of view, where she's actually defending Phoenix himself in a case. Right away, Your Honor. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Whew, it looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? It seems you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... this witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. contradictions. If a witness has lied, their statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he's your client, in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that's your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Let's see. What was there? A killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew him to begin with. I never talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? Oh yeah, I got this. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. Yeah, basically, Otherwise, Grossberg would just be giving us tutorial stuff that we already know at this point. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time from the very beginning. I was there. Not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here! You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Oh, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you say the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Yet you know he's a quote, British wannabe? That's right, I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? She's even got the finger point down. Atta girl. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I'll give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor. What is it now? Who is this person, anyway? This Union Jack fellow? Oh, my God. Judge. Judge, please. Mia's just at a loss for words. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg? Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I don't see that on him here. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Oh, don't get so smug just yet, Payne. Thank you for uncovering the witnesses, or the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man didn't simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah. I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually I seem to have lost it somewhere. Uh-oh. I see where this is going. He lost it. Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. Huh? What's this? In the victim's hand, it's... Oh. It's Cold Killer X. Well, shit. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order! Order in the court! Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Also, the victim's wristwatch is broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. And what? Where is it stopped at? What is that? Just a few minutes after 3? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this? And what date? Okay, it does list his time of death at 3 o'clock. This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. We don't care about your damn hemorrhoids right now, Grossberg. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I'd hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Hello, kitty. The truth is, I went because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is my, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. Oh, what was that for, Mia? Huh? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Oh, you jealous? Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles. I see. In the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. Was he the ultimate pharmacologist? An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. Ho, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. So you're absolutely certain you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. Talked for a bit. At 3, we split up. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. I don't know, Phoenix. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. He's still dodging something. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one's buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense isn't always common. So, did anyone else know you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. So, I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. I lost it around lunchtime the day of the incident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What's that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ouch! Why'd you punch me in the jaw? Oh my god, Mia, what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Mia is jealous, isn't she? Well, Mia? I don't know. I can't seem to find any contradictions. The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural-born liar, you know. But still, we can't have him continue to spout nonsense. I know, but what can I do? Well, I'm certain he must still be hiding something. Information. Right now, it's information we need more than anything else. Yes. Actually... Let me take a look, Noble. Oh, it doesn't give me his profile. At this point, Phoenix is 21. I mean, Mia actually looks around the same age. And her sister Maya is maybe, what, 5 years younger? Reading me at 2:45 behind the building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated to me at 2:45? Okay, yeah, we already saw this. Ask about the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit early in your testimony, you said something interesting. Or hell, maybe Mia's a cougar. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right. And they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables. Yeah, there are electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there's one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, you're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I think we can do that. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Fay? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that. Really, Mia? Really? Now then, Miss Fay, let's see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Well, that's pretty obvious if you look at the, photo here. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. Really? I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Fay, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? Judge, are you really that clueless? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. What? Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. Oh. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim toward the severed electrical cable. Order! Order! That's enough! I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg. My hemorrhoids never lie. The show's over, Mia. Really? You're... No, just... What? I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor! Oh, shit. At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. I mean, you're going to be screwed either way, so... Miss Fay, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. Back to this again. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it'll be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Oh. I mean, this definitely doesn't look good for you, Phoenix. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes. I was afraid. Afraid if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please, please, give me one more chance to explain. This time, I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. Aw. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. Oh, it feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Oh dear, Grossberg, please. Please, just bow out of this for right now, okay? That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. Oh, it's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye? Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. He's talking bad about Dolly. So, what kind of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there were no several electrical cables anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony witness. I mean, at worst, maybe we can get this downgraded to manslaughter, but I don't think we're going to settle for that. At that moment, I heard a loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Let's keep going. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Ah, could it have been... Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Oh? Oh yeah, we saw it in the photo. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail. Kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Oh yes, I am seeing it, Noble. Well... This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell on top of his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. Are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Oh, my stomach's not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. Oh. I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness. After I left, I started to get worried. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of padding there to hit. He fell on top of the umbrella, but then what's it doing over here? Yeah, no kidding. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, he was still alive. After he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order! Order! The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want presented as evidence immediately. Owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could simply have been blown there by the wind. Not if he was laying on top of it. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! Haha, get wrecked, Winston. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Okay. Well done, Mia. Oh, he still has something up his sleeve. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? Oh yeah, she wants to dress down the bitch that she's obviously so jealous of. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious. After hiding such important facts... But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I know she will. Why do you think that? Did he lose a bet? I know, right? Well, I mean, he already said that, that Dahlia made the sweater that he's wearing. And he has a cold, hence the mask. Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Oh? Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side, actually. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. It's okay, Coolio. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. Huh? She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then... She took it off, but before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Damn, Phoenix, you are smitten. It contains her bathwater. Oh my goodness. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Oh? She wants it back? What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, The day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago. It wouldn't happen to have been August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you? This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Huh? Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases. Am I correct? Wait, what are we looking at? Newspaper clipping. An article from August 28th, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. Very little information is being disclosed at this time, since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who is sitting with the victim. I need to finish this myself. Oh, yes, but I'm afraid what you have won't be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Yep. Alrighty then. Quick break, about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be back as we start the second half of this trial.